Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of my SAP colleagues and our external partners joining us today for our joint session on intelligent technologies in SAP S4HANA. I'm joined with three of my colleagues from a product management organization, Yong, Anna, and Talal, who will be providing an update today from 2108 with some insights into the future roadmap. So before we begin, as with all of the other Delta training sessions, I do want to make you aware that this call is recorded. The recordings can also be found on our landing pages within the next 24 hours. Furthermore, at the end of the call, there will be an opportunity to ask questions and have them answered. To do so, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. Please use that instead of the chat, so we have a clean overview of it. So that's all from my side. Now I'd like to hand over to Talal, who will introduce the session formally. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you, Greg, for handing over the call. Hi, I'm Syed Talal Hussain, and today we will be talking about the intelligent technologies in SAP S4HANA. Without any further ado, let's get into the basic introduction. We have the agenda today, so overview will be provided by me in just a minute. And then we have intelligent robotic process automation, conversational AI, machine learning, topics covered by Yong, my colleague, and situation handling will be covered by Anna. And then we have business process intelligence as well. Just some basic outline regarding the format. Any questions and answers, please post through the Q&A tool. Questions must be posted in the Q&A tool and not the chat. In this way, we are able to better track and answer those questions. At the end of the session, there will also be some time allocated for live Q&A, where we will answer your questions live, if any. Thank you. Next slide. All right, let's get over with the overview now. Have a quick look. So what do we have in today's session? So we are presenting in today's session 4 components. For digital assistants, we have the updates as we have a new chatbot for operational purchaser. In robotic process automation, we have introduced 3 new bots, reorder for SAP, and a web GUI. In situation handling, we have 6 new situation use cases, intelligent situations, and automation. For machine learning, we have an updated 1 new scenario and also some ISLM updates. More on these details later on in the session. Next slide, please. Also, in the handover slides, handouts, you can also go and have a look at our YouTube session where you can find more information on the end-to-end scenarios. So we have some listed scenarios over here, sales manager, employment and procurement, and so on. If you are looking for more technical topics, we also have more demos available. So, for example, in SAP Intelligent RP integration with chatbot and others. Lastly, also, we have the updated L2 deck that is on artificial intelligence technologies in SAP S4HANA. For any questions, you are free to contact our colleague, in this case, Jürgen Butzmann, and his contact is also provided at the bottom. Next slide, please. If you are interested in a full list of all the scenarios available, please go to the handouts at the end of the call, and you can have a look at all of these highlights. Also, all of this information can be found in the appendix section on the handouts that is provided to you. Thank you. Now I would like to hand over to my colleague, Yong, for intelligent robot process automation.
All right. So thank you, Talal, and welcome everybody to the session. So without further ado, I think let's dive right into the topic. Just a brief background. My name is Yong, and actually I'm from the SAP S4HANA product management team, basically the front runner team. And what we do is basically we cover all these individual technology tracks, and basically we cover also like the latest updates and also a little bit on enablement to audiences such as yourself, so as like to basically try and like give you guys also like a little bit of upskilling through the entire year itself in such programs such as the ones we're having today. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. So I think a lot of you have been attending the Delta training session this year, so I will not cover in the interest of time today solution overviews. So we'll just jump right into the latest updates for RPA and as well as the other technologies. So I will be pleased to inform you guys that if you guys are aware that earlier this year we do have a new low-code, no-code approach in terms of like designing and building the bots on a store itself. And if you guys have already taken some time to explore the RPA solution, you would have already seen Cloud Cloud Studio been available, I think, since the end of last year. And what it does is basically using a more of like a drag and drop approach to basically like take a low code, no code approach to how you would be designing a bot itself, so that, you know, in a customer side, you know, you do not need to basically have development heavy workforce. You can actually just also have business users to basically design their own workflow, their own automation processes, and build it into a bot itself. So using this approach, we actually have 3 new bots that are built using a new low-code, no-code approach. So the first one being basically automation creation of sales orders from Excel, which is one of the more popular bots that we have in the store. And I will be pleased to also let you know that this bot is actually also applicable not only for cloud, but is also for S4HANA on-premise all the way to 1809. For the other 2, basically these are launched for cloud only for now, but I think this could also change in the next few months. So you can also look for the code over here in the cloud in the bot store, if not on Best Practices Explorer for FL, and that's for maintain plan independent requirements. I've also included the link over here behind the image. And last but not least, we also have automatic releases of accounts payable invoices for customer projects. We have a total of 235 bots as of now, including the 3 new RPA 2.0 bot content above. And you can actually view them all on the SAP Intelligence Store, which I included here in the link below. Again, a little bit about the low-code, no-code approach. So as I explained moments ago, this is more of like, you know, to basically allow users to have a drag and drop approach instead of coding. And this is basically using capturing, I think, events such as like, you know, mouse clicks and also like menu selects and even like, you know, text inputs into like open text fields. So all these actually events which the recorder itself will basically record and basically build out the workflow, as you can see over here on the small screenshot. There's a lot of detail and it's also quite technical. So if you're really interested, we do recommend that you actually check out the latest L2 Intelligent RPA 2.0 deck over here. So you can also like get this in handouts and explore the details at your own time. Also, we do invite you to also participate in the developer community. It's getting also quite active. And there, perhaps I think you can also like get in touch with developers who are actively working on this solution using the Cloud Studio itself. Also, I think right now, what's new with 2108? So a couple of key highlights over here. So if you begin, I think on this screenshot over here, one of the most important highlights would be basically the duplication of automation steps between automation artifacts. So what it does is basically you can actually duplicate steps within a same project. If not, you can also like basically duplicate steps across other projects itself. So this actually helps us saves a lot of effort on behalf of developers. Also, for the RP administrators, I'm also glad to announce that that we also have a little bit of easier agent management. So you're also now able to multi-select different agents in the agents table, and you can basically perform, let's say, similar actions such as like decommission, if not activate, something like that. Instead of like selecting agents individually, you can actually do a multi-select and apply the changes to all the agents itself. Also for Web GUI, basically right now what we have is for SAP Web GUI use cases, you can also basically run automations now in batch mode. So basically execution can now be run a lot more faster, and basically you can also like enjoy a better performance out of it. Again, we do recommend that you visit the blog post over here, and this is actually very detailed. So you can actually read all more about these 3 key updates and also other updates to come along with 2108. And of course, I think by default, I think we do also recommend that you check out the SAP help site over here if you're interested about the new updates and what you do. Also, I think what we want to mention is basically since 2103, or since the last time I think you received the Delta update back in February, I'm pleased to also tell you like there's also the recording capability right now for SAP Web GUI and also as of 2106 SAP Win GUI. And basically this allows you or the users to basically automate complex workflows a lot more easier by recording steps on the screen. And also the difference is that basically it transforms basically all the screens and elements and underlying metadata. It captures them automatically and declares them. So there you can actually export the recording to the automation design of the Cloud Studio, and a workflow will be built automatically. And basically all this metadata and automation workflow and the activities that built out of it. If I'm not wrong, I think basically these can also like they are basically captured a lot more robustly as compared to the typical screen scraping solution in form like I think the metadata is transform into REST APIs. And in this, I think the bot does not change when the screen changes itself. Again, I think it's very technical, so we do recommend that you check out the blogs over here. And in this blog, basically, there are some very nice video explanations over here for each of these use cases, WinGUI and also WebGUI. And basically, we do invite you to check out those 5-minute long videos, step-by-step guide if you're working a lot more with WinGUI and WebGUI. Okay, so also for those who are interested, basically, we also want to let you know that like the RPA trial is no longer limited to 3 months, and now it's actually extended to 12 months. So this basically opens up a lot more time for customers, partners, and also like for anyone who's interested to basically explore the situation in depth without a lot more time pressure. So basically, we do invite you to also click this link and basically try it out if you want to actually have a go at intelligent RPA. All right, so I think most of us would have seen this slide early on this year. So the context here is that most of the updates that are reflected on the slide should already be reflected in the tool. But however, I think it's still best to mind that I think some of the points over here may not be in the tool yet. But again, we do invite you to basically check them out. And if you want to find out the full roadmap, we definitely do recommend you to check out the roadmap page itself on SAP. And again, for the next slide over here, this is what's coming up for the second half of this year. And again, we would like to mention here that this is actually more of a SAP Labs preview. So I think SAP reserves the right to always change any of the details inside this list over here. Please take these PDFs and do read it at your own time. And if you have questions on each of the points, you can definitely write the questions to them by email to us. And we'll try our best to basically route you to the correct experts. If not, we'll try to also try to address them in our team. All right, so for those who want to get started, here are a lot more enablement links that we want to also share with you. So we do recommend that the users and also I think people who are interested to really start with OpenSAP courses here. So there are 4 to 5 courses today, so definitely you can basically explore them at your own time. And what's also new since the past few months is also, I think we have been uploading also quite a few demo recordings of how these bots interact with the SAP S4HANA system. So you can also check out the latest demo videos that we have in Intelligent RPA channel on YouTube. So basically like use cases such as like, lock and lock profit centers, and also the automated upload of manual entries, and also like managing payment advices, how basically SAP Intelligent RPA in action itself. And again, we included here also some social channels. So if you want to engage the community and other development experts, you can also do so. Just click here and basically participate in the communities over there. All right, so that's for RPA. Again, as mentioned, if you have questions, please do route them to us. And right now, I think, we may not have a lot of time for this session, so we'll probably just dive right into conversational AI and also digital assistance. So a little bit about conversational AI. So this is one of the hottest upcoming intelligent technologies in the SAP workspace since the past 2 years. So in a nutshell, basically, conversational AI aims to change how users in future would interact with systems and also search for information or execute actions. Today, users like you and I, we basically need to navigate to certain Fiori apps and input certain filters to find certain objects and also take action. And this actually takes a lot of time, the navigation on the screen, and also like trying to find information. So basically what conversational AI would actually help, as in the case of the operational purchases that we have here, users can actually now derive relevant purchasing documents such as like contract consumption, purchase orders, without actually needing to move to other Fiori apps. And these can all actually happen in the same chat window that actually happens on the side of the screen, so that the users themselves can actually take the next best action. So this makes the day-to-day procurement workflow very efficient, and helps also ease the onboarding of the new department colleagues who may not actually have the most in-depth knowledge of the apps yet. So one point to note is that conversational AI is actually delivered as a template. So users and customers may need to actually also invest their own development effort and time on the bot, so that they can actually bring it to productive use. So, okay, so this is a greater detail again in the screenshot. As you can see here, basically how operational purchases chatbot will look like. So what I would like to mention is that this can actually be done on the SAP conversational AI platform, and these actually enables the templates to be extended by the users. So as mentioned just now previously, it requires basically some development effort and investment of time on the user's side itself. So as you can see here on the example in the screenshot, you can basically use chat-like messages to trigger a fetch or extract a data extraction out of S4HANA. So as in the case here, basically like the user is querying like, I have a purchase order of like 45,000, so on and so forth, and please show me the plant. And actually over here, the chatbot itself will basically pull out and extract the related plants that relate to this PO itself over here. So there are definitely some nice videos and also like developer trial missions for conversational AI. So we do invite you to also visit the main SAP website, if not the SAP communities page. And over there, you can actually follow some of the tutorials that we have there or the team has provided. And to basically try your hand and also gain some experience yourself on the SAP conversational AI platform itself. So this is definitely a technology to watch. And as of now, I think we are starting only with one bot for now. But if perhaps by February next year, the next Delta training, we hope to basically bring you more updates from this space. So yeah, do pay attention to this space in the next few months. Now again, for machine learning, so these are some of the nice new releases for 2108, and the latest release that we want to bring to your attention is basically the intelligent intercompany matching and reconciliation. So this is out as of 2108, and so for colleagues in the finance line of business, intercompany financial documents matching is actually very labor intensive. So this actually also incurs a lot of like manual effort, and sometimes also business users, they do encounter high volumes. So this may actually lead to like errors or if not posting differences. And as such, also in the department level, this could actually lead to a closing delay. So definitely we want to try to see like how in this space, like machine learning can actually help accelerate the process. And this is why the team actually came up with this use case of like trying to insert ML algorithm into the ICMR process itself over here. To better explain, I think, the processes of how this solution actually works. So basically what we have here is like two different subsidiaries in a similar company. And what they do is basically like they would be replicating the documents in real time to SAP S4HANA via the central finance solution, or basically users can upload the files directly into the system or write to a table by API. What happens here in the S4HANA system is that all these documents, they would be first matched on a rules basis. And for the documents that could not be matched by the rules, these would actually be submitted on the second layer to the SAP Intelligent Intercompany Matching application over here. So this service actually runs on the SAP Business Technology platform. And this is where basically machine learning kicks in to basically resolve the documents that could not be matched by the rules previously. And after matching it using machine learning, it will basically hand the results back to S4, and basically over there, the logs would actually reflect like these documents have been matched by the machine learning solution itself. Yeah, I see some of you have actually been raising your hands, so I think we'll probably reserve the questions towards the end. Thank you also for your interest. And right now, I think to basically show this solution in action, basically I'm just going to switch over my screen to the YouTube demo video here in the interest of time. And I've also included the link to this YouTube demo video in the slides, so you can actually also like follow the demo at your own time when you get the handouts. And the entire demo video is actually 5 minutes long. So just let me start again. So if you can see my screen over here, apologies for that. So a typical user in the finance line of business would actually basically, if they want to take action to reconcile the different documents, they would actually begin with this Fiori app called Reconciliation Status Overview over here in this start screen. So what happens over here is basically the user would basically do an investigation into a certain company code over here. And here's where we see basically like the differences between the company 1010 and also like the trading partner 1710, that there's a difference of like $233. And this is something that we want to take action using the ICMR solution, if not also the machine learning algorithm. So over here, you can see on the screen, and let me walk you through, it's basically like within this differences itself, there are a total of like 5,000 line items, and definitely like trying to run through them on your own as a human user, this is actually very difficult task, and it's also highly manual. So what we want to do is basically like try to, you can also notice here that there is a new functionality that allows you to basically select auto match with ML, and that actually launches the machine learning solution to basically process and pass through the entire list of unassigned items over here. And you can see here basically the job status will be running, and to also like view the status of the jobs. This is where on the next screen you would be able to also like basically monitor the process or basically the matching process itself. And basically, as mentioned over here, for items that could not be matched by rules, these would actually be handed to the intelligent ICR service that sits on the SAP Business Technology platform. And once the matching is done by the machine learning solution, it will be handed back to the S4 system. And if you want to monitor basically, let's say a certain line item or a certain document, you can actually do so using this Fury app over here. Just let me go over here, basically navigate to machine learning monitor over here. And basically that allows you to basically drill down into a selected, let's say, document and basically explore basically the results. And what you can do is basically also like after running the matching, you can actually check the results. And basically over here, you can see like the documents that were matched by the rules. These would actually be reflected as such, and the documents that are matched by the machine learning solution, these will be logged basically with the text that says like these were matched by machine learning. So this actually helps the users to basically split, and basically understand which was done by the rules space, and which was done by the machine learning system, machine learning solution itself. So again, there's a lot of details in this demo, so we definitely do encourage you to explore this demo at your own time. So definitely the demo link is here. There's also a good narrative behind explaining what's happening on the screen. So do take your own time to explore this demo itself. All right, for those who are also interested in terms of landscape, yeah, I think so this is actually launched with 2108 first, and I think if I'm not wrong, I think this would also be coming out in the on-premise release for 2021 sometime around next month. So definitely do keep a lookout for that. And yeah, so that's all for intelligent intercompany reconciliation. Now, another release that also happened earlier this year is basically the automated creation of sales orders from unstructured data. So I believe my colleague Matthias has already covered this in the previous Delta training in February this year. So I won't be going too much into detail for this use case, but for those who are interested and maybe seeing this for the first time, in a nutshell, basically this unstructured data or unstructured sales document data that comes in the form of like emails, fax, or even PDF. These can actually be basically analyzed by also a different type of a machine learning solution, but also which sits also on the SAP Business Technology platform. And basically it's called the Document Information Extraction Service. And what it does is it basically extracts content from an unstructured source format, so as described, email, PDF, or fax, and basically creates a draft sales order in the S4HANA system automatically itself. And like the previous solution, it basically aims to really relieve the manual workflow intensity that users basically encounter on the day-to-day workflow itself. If you want to explore basically the scope item ID is 4x9, so you can definitely explore it in the best practices explorer. And also I think just pay attention that certain AI services may be required, so you can definitely check out, I think, commercialization licensing issues over here through this link. Again, a little bit on the architecture. So very similar to the previous solution, intelligent intercompany. So what the user would do is basically upload the PDF into the Fury app, and basically it will then be basically analyzed by the document information extraction service sitting on the SAP Cloud platform or the SAP Business Technology platform. And likewise, I think once the results are done, they will be pushed back this time around via JSON into the S4HANA system. And this would actually be needed to be validated by the end user themselves. And in terms of like what assets and what elements are being extracted, so basically over here, customer name, and also customer address, and also delivery addresses, and also like order date, as well as the individual line items itself. So, yep. So as mentioned, we do include some links in the previous slides. So definitely you can go in there and basically explore it at your own time. Now, for the framework for ISLM, Intelligent Scenario Lifecycle Management. So this actually replaces the previous predictive analytics and the two apps that come along with it in S4HANA. So right now, what we have for ISLM is basically intelligent scenarios, and this is more for like developers to register their scenarios in our ISLM framework, and to also like create their own custom development, to basically display and create their own custom developed intelligent scenarios. In terms of like training, deployment, activation, monitoring, this would actually be in the second Fiori app called Intelligent Scenario Management. And this is more for like the managing of the different ML scenarios all across the landscape, both custom as well as like those that are shipped for business users as part of the S4HANA system. Again, more details can be found in these links over here. And we do invite you to also explore the SAP Help portal over here, as well as like there's also a dedicated blog series by my colleague, Raghu Venkanta, and which he explains it in a high level detail into more about ISLM over here. And for further updates from now till the end of 2021, as mentioned, most of the predictive analytics, in the first half of this year, this has been now migrated to ISLM as of 2105. And basically all predictive scenarios delivered with S4HANA should now be operated via ISLM. So you can view more in the blog link over here. And for those who really want to explore the content and also get your hands dirty with some of the solutions that we describe over here, I'm also pleased to let you know that we do have also a fully activated Cloud Appliance Library image over here with the S4HANA system 2020 and also FPS02. So definitely visit the blog over here and to find out more about the instructions on how you can actually get your own cloud system and get started over there. And we're just going to cover very quickly also on some of the use cases in the next few slides. Again, for those who are used to Roadmap Explorer, some of the recent and upcoming releases definitely would include S4HANA 2108 Cloud. And also for the on-premise side, it will be upcoming, I think, the S4HANA 2021 on-premise itself over here. Apologies for the lettering over here. We'll get this changed before we give this back to you. As mentioned, I think these are the use cases that come along with ISLM. And as I previously covered for the areas of finance and also sales, for the area of finance, intercompany reconciliation, and for sales order automation in the releases of cloud. For the others, I think you can definitely explore them at your own time. I believe these are also linked. And for on-premise, this would be the releases that come along with it since 2020 FPS2 and also 2021 FPS0 that's upcoming. All right, so for those who want to get started, as mentioned, if you want to have your own system and explore your CAL instance, definitely click this link over here. If not, you can also view more about the official documentation over here for ISLM for SAP S4HANA Cloud and ISLM SAP S4HANA itself. And if not, also view, I think, the TechEd 2020 replay over here. And with that, I've come to the end of machine learning, and I would like to hand this time also to Anna, my colleague, who will be covering situation handling. So Anna, over to you.
All right, thank you, Jan. So then let's talk about situation handling. For those of you that might not be familiar with situation handling, let's just quickly do a recap. So situation handling is a framework in SAP S4HANA that helps you optimizing business processes by detecting exceptional circumstances automatically and identifying the responsible users through the integration with responsibility management. The relevant users are informed about issues that can affect business, which means that they can immediately take follow-up actions and speed up the resolution of critical business events, such as expiring contracts, pending confirmations or approvals, and approaching thresholds. How exactly are users informed about such situations? In short, once a situation takes place, the users that should be aware of it are automatically notified within the Fiori Launchpad. And on top of that, we also propose follow-up actions to solve these situations in some cases, which facilitates the daily work of the business users. As situation instances occur over time, we can also track what's happening in the background. So this data is collected and can be used to gain further insights into these events in their life cycle. Essentially, by monitoring when situations were initially triggered and then when they were solved by the user, you can identify patterns and determine which processes can be optimized. Finally, we also help automating the resolution of situations through our intelligent situation automation service in the business technology platform, which we will talk about in a minute. Ultimately, the idea is that the user should be able to focus on other tasks instead of repetitive manual checks. SAP delivers a wide range of standard use cases, or using our terminology, situation templates, based on which you can configure and enable your own situation types considering your requirements. Currently, we have over 80 templates available in S4HANA and S4HANA Cloud. With S4HANA Cloud 2108, we delivered 6 new templates for finance, sales, and procurement. Once these situations are activated in the system and notifications are triggered, you'll be able to navigate from the notification in the Fiori Launchpad to the Fiori apps that you see listed here in the slide. So starting with finance, the accounts receivable accountant can now check in the process receivables app the items in their collections work list that require attention. In this case, situation handling can be used to highlight recommended actions to be performed on the invoices that appear on their collections work list. So for example, the user can be notified to send an email to the customer 3 days before an invoice is due, or they can be informed that they should call the customer if the invoice is 20 days overdue. This increases efficiency in the collection process by allowing business users to prioritize the items on their work list. In procurement, category managers and purchasers can foster efficient communication by making use of these 3 situation templates combined. So new supplier proposed, supplier proposal accepted and rejected. Purchasers can make proposals to change the standard supplier list in the Manage Preferred Supplier List app. They can suggest to add or remove suppliers out of the list, and they can include a comment to justify that suggestion. The category manager will be proactively informed about these new supplier proposals, and then they can make an assessment and choose to accept it or reject it. After this decision is made, the purchaser that made the proposal in the first place is then notified about the category manager's decision. And finally, in sales, situation handling can help the solution order specialist handling delays or other events which could affect the overall execution of the solution order. So for example, let's take a closer look at the situation template project execution dates changed with item relationship. In general, the solution order specialist is responsible for managing solution orders for his customers, which includes creating, updating, and monitoring order execution across delivery organizations. So by activating this particular template, your solution order specialists will be proactively notified if there is a change in the project start date or end date, which could affect another item that is dependent on that. How does this look like exactly? Let's look into the configuration first. So in general, you can configure situation types and define the recipients of the notifications through the Manage Situation Types app. In this app, you'll find the list of pre-delivered situation templates, including the new template for project execution dates changed with item relationship. By selecting and copying this template, the key user can create a new situation type, which is what you're looking at in the screen right now. The condition in this template establishes that a situation occurs when the start or end date of the project item in the solution order is updated and there's one or more dependent items affected by that. For this particular template, when a situation instance is triggered, the recipients of the notification can be determined by the predefined responsibility rule, notify employee responsible for solution order. Now, once the situation type is activated, the established conditions are met, a notification is sent to the employee responsible for the solution order. The notification, as you can see in the screen, is available within the Fiori Launchpad in the bell button. And by clicking on it, the end user will be taken to a Fiori app that explains the situation at hand in more detail. In this case, they will be redirected into the Managed Solution Orders app. In addition to informing the user, we want to ensure that the user can easily navigate to the relevant app and find the information required to make informed decisions as far as follow-up actions go. Plus, a situation message is also displayed in the business app. The text in this message can be personalized to include variables and links to further documentation, such as handbooks or other documentation that you think may be helpful for the user to effectively make a decision. And users can also close the situation directly in the in-app message by selecting the appropriate status, which can be resolved, obsolete, or invalid. With S4HANA 2021, we will deliver 21 use cases in the areas of finance, sales, service, sourcing and procurement, and supply chain. The 6 new use cases mentioned just now for S4HANA Cloud will also become available with on-premise 2021, among others, so we won't go into the details now. If you're interested in learning more about these use cases, of course, feel free to follow the link in the information pictogram here at the bottom of the slide. This will take you directly to the What's New viewer, where you can find the description of each use case that is listed here. Now let's take a look at intelligent situation automation. So intelligent situation automation is an extension of situation handling on the business technology platform. As we saw, you can configure situation types to proactively inform specific user groups about important business events. The context data then can be extracted through APIs and consumed outside of S4HANA, for example, by our intelligent situation automation service. In BTP, we can provide advanced analytics based on the data that is collected from S4. And on top of that, users can also configure rules based on which situations are automatically solved. So basically, this means that if one of these rules applies, the situations are no longer displayed to the responsible users. They're automatically processed by the situation handling engine instead. Currently, the analytics and automation portions are generally available for S4HANA Cloud. The connectivity to S4HANA on-premise is planned to be delivered later this year. And in the future, we plan to introduce more intelligence to the process through machine learning models to provide more intelligent insights to the users. Now, the use case for physical inventory monitoring is a good example of how we can automate the resolution of situations. In general, businesses that deal with materials for sale need to occasionally check the stock of their materials to compare the inventory records in the system with what is in stock physically in the warehouse. And to do that, the inventory manager creates a physical inventory document and maintains the item counts per material. This document is then taken by the warehouse clerk, who will count the stock in the warehouse and update the count quantity. If there is a difference between the physical count and the system count, situation handling alerts the inventory manager, and as a follow-up action, the user can either approve this difference and post a physical inventory document or trigger a recount. Considering that this takes a few minutes per document, it can easily become a time-consuming task. And so this is where intelligent situation automation comes into play and can significantly reduce manual effort. Let me just take you through a quick demo to show you how this works. So basically, on the S4HANA side, we're logging in as configuration experts to create the situation type for the physical inventory monitoring situation template. You can do so by navigating to the Manage Situation Types app. You can also configure the filter conditions. You can schedule a time for the background job to identify situation instances. And then, very important, you need to ensure that these 3 flags are enabled to trigger automation. And the flags are monitor instances, capture data context, and enable situation automation. Then moving on the BTP side, you will be able to configure automation rules in the Manage Situation Automation app. So basically, you can, for instance, define that if the difference between the system and physical count is less than 10 units, then the physical inventory document can be posted. Otherwise, it should be submitted for a recount. So this is basically just a quick example of how you can establish rules in this case. And now just quickly going back to the slides for a wrap up of the situation handling topic. I've compiled a list of links to blog posts and documentation in the Help portal, Best Practices Explorer, and the Extensibility Explorer, where you can find more information about situation handling and the existing use cases. So feel free to use that as a starting point to explore the topic further at your own convenience. And with this, I'll hand over to Yang for business process intelligence.
Okay,
Over to you, Yang.
Thank you, Anna. So I'm just going to cut over to my own screen right now. So just let me share my screen. All right, so that's it for situation handling. And right now we just want to cover, I think, business process intelligence. And I think the key question here is like, the questions that we get from customers is that, the technologies that we hear from machine learning and situation handling and all that, they sound fantastic. So how do we actually basically implement them? So this is actually one of the common questions that we get from customers. And to actually also give you a good introduction to the BPI topic. For some of you, I think if you have not seen the demo already, actually there is a very nice demo in the Sapphire recording. So over here, you can basically just click the link here and view the 10-minute SAP Sapphire demo video here, where they actually walk you through basically how from a high level, they try to analyze, let's say, the business process and inefficiencies and drill down to the lower level within the workflow process itself to try and see how automation such as RPA can actually step in to basically address the points of inefficiencies within the workflow process itself. Okay, so a little bit of guidance on how customers and also if they're interested, how they can actually start. So what we do recommend is that customers to basically start with the process discovery or Pathfinder report first. And this is actually predominantly free as of now. And this will actually basically help executives focus their attention on the most important process performance issues. So if they're interested or if you're interested, you can actually guide your customers to basically click on the link here, s4hana.com. If not, if they are existing S4HANA customer and they just want to basically analyze their own processes, they can also visit basically the sap.com/Pathfinder. And the Pathfinder report is more for S4HANA customers, and process discovery is more for SAP ECC customers. So this report is actually a one-off report, and basically what it does is basically try to understand data that's extracted out of the customer's ECC, if not the S4 system, and basically try to understand also the number of dialog steps that a user is doing and interacting with the system itself, and through that basically try and understand where there may be manual bottlenecks within the workflow process of the users, of the department. And if customers are also interested at the next level to basically drill down to greater detail and have a much more, let's say, regular cadence of updates instead of a one-off update of a one-off report over here. So let's say customers can also engage SAP Process Insights, and that actually provides you basically a continuous monitoring and improvement of your company's business processes. And this actually also basically helps, let's say, if you want to do, let's say, before and after analysis and a continuous analysis as you're doing, let's say, as you're implementing certain AI technologies, for example, then I think SAP Process Insights would actually be the next best step that you can actually take. So for more information, you can definitely visit the GEM site over here. If not, you can also visit the BPI website over here. Now, just want to talk a little bit about step one. So how customers can actually start with process discovery. So as you can see here, this is actually the start screen. And whenever a customer logs on to see his Spotlight report or process discovery report, this is what he'll be starting with. So this actually helps the customer to basically identify the most valuable business scenarios that need improvement within the company, and also have a lot more tailor-made insights to actually basically justify the move use case from ECC to S4HANA. And in the case of Pathfinder, is basically to understand where inefficiencies lie within the processes of company. And again, there is, you can actually explore the demo at your own time. So I've included the link over here. So just simply click here and basically key in also, I think, your username and password. Those are provided on the start screen over here. And you can actually basically find out more and navigate through the entire digital report and basically see how it actually looks like in real life. For customers who want to start with the report, definitely visit s4hana.com, and you can basically order, encourage your customers to order the analysis. The key point here is that the customers themselves, they need to trigger this. So we as SAP, we just encourage them to just visit this website and take the necessary steps described there. Again, a blow up of process discovery. So as you can see here, basically what's provided on the screen, immediately we basically report to customers where on the first column or the first row, where are your top opportunities to improve. So in this view over here, we see the view of sales and definitely the top 4 KPIs. For I think certain LOBs, there will definitely be more KPIs, of course. And basically we start with like top opportunities to improve. And after that, also like what are the KPIs that basically performing well within the entire line of business. And also if you want to improve, let's say the KPIs at the top here, what are certain recommendations that you can take as part of the S4HANA capabilities or intelligent technologies that can actually help you improve the KPIs, such as like, for example, where my mouse is, sales order items overdue for invoicing. So this is actually a very interactive report, and it's targeted at business experts and also business users that, let's say, interact with the S4HANA screen on a daily basis. And it also comes with the offline PDF report, and that's more for like, let's say, LOB managers who are very used to actually reading and studying PDF reports. And a PDF report is actually 200 slides long. It comes with a lot of detail, and it's basically an offline companion to what you would receive with the interactive report. Definitely it does provide a lot of value. Again, this is how I think a blow up of process discovery, and you can see how you can actually navigate through the entire report itself. So basically, if you're interested to explore an end-to-end process, definitely you can actually just click, let's say, order to cash over here. If you are more of a LOB, if you're trying to understand the performance at the LOB level, you can definitely also click at the second row over here, basically the desired lines of business that you want to basically assess and analyze. And what we provide at the bottom here is also like process automation, where you can actually just view some of the AI technologies and recommendations that we have for each of the, let's say, the lines of business or the end-to-end processes. And also like if you want to analyze, let's say, your custom code versus and take a deeper look into your transaction data itself, you can also click the link over here and basically slice and dice through, let's say, your transaction data. And right now, I think for step 2, this is process insights, and this is also quite new. And basically what we'll start with process insights is that we'll cover 20 process flows and also provide to customers 60 process performance indicators, and also provide 20 corrective recommendations that they can also take. And also last but not least, 300 over innovation recommendations that they can consider to basically implement within their landscape. And this covers basically 6 lines of business and also 5 end-to-end processes. And just take note that this is actually as of Q3 this year, and definitely there's more content upcoming. So we hope that by February next year, this will actually increase a lot more. The team is actually ramping up with the product right now as we speak. So there's more content upcoming in the next few months ahead. Again, this is the start screen. This is one of the screenshots for process insights. And one of the key features that is worth mentioning is that it does provide, let's say, a process flow chart. So I apologize for the detail over here, but I'm just going to read out to you. So let's say in the area of like, let's say, production order creation, what it does is basically try to analyze how the workflow is. So we start with, let's say, production orders created. In this case over here, 6 items, and production orders released, 6 items again. But we begin to observe, let's say, a slowdown in terms of like, when we start to release the production orders. And, production orders initially confirmed, we only have 2 items over here. So this actually provides a visual analysis to your processes within the lines of business. And it's also very interactive. And over here, you can also see basically the breakdown of all the individual, let's say, KPIs that basically match up to this particular step itself. We do have, let's say, as mentioned, I think there is probably around 50 different KPIs that are provided as of now, and definitely this is slated to increase. So some of the example KPIs are definitely like source audit item creation to outbound delivery item, if not production order creation to technical completion, so on and so forth. And for more, you can actually just visit the SAP help site over here, and they do provide you a table list of all the different process KPIs that would be included over here. What's also interesting to note is that aside from telling customers, like, and diagnosing the customers basically where inefficiencies lie within the processes, we also try to advise customers some corrective recommendations. For example, in the area of lead to cash, users can themselves basically take some recommended actions. For example, they can basically follow, let's say, descriptions provided in SAP Note 992-587 over here, and basically try to improve, let's say, adopt some of the capabilities that are recommended here. And hopefully that improves, let's say, a KPI that sits under lead to cash. So this is actually one of the neat features that comes with Process Insights. And right now, I think it's still manual, that the users actually need to take the corrective actions themselves. But I think in the near future, again, this is a future statement, so please bear in mind that this can actually the team basically is trying to automate this in the next few months ahead, that this can actually be fully automated. Okay, so that's all for BPI. If you want to find out more information, we definitely encourage you to attend the BPI call, the BPI session that's going to happen immediately after this session. Definitely you can post your questions there to my colleague who will be running the session there. And right now, I think to close the session, and we just want to introduce to you, I think, some of the programs that if customers are interested, how they can actually get started. So taking the example of intelligent RPA, so because this receives a lot of demand, so I would just like to reinform, I think, some of you guys here, that the SAP services team, they do have a quick start service. So this actually helps basically customers to get started on intelligent RPA with the use case. And basically, if they're interested, they can actually find out more and contact my colleague Andreas Köger over here. So basically, these are the individual steps that the team will actually walk the customers through. So from the exploration preparation phase, where it's a 50-50 customer and SAP involvement, and realization phase, where basically SAP is involved 80% of the time and customers 20%, and also the deployment phase, where we do expect also a lot more engaged customer with 50-50 again. And this is where we actually can also basically help customers to scale the bots into their productive use case itself. Again, for more information, please contact my colleague Andreas Köger, and his emails over here below from SAP Services. Again, also if customers are interested, the front-runner team at SAP S4HANA Product Management, which basically I'm from, can also basically help support the customers, by providing, let's say, an overview of AI in S4HANA. In a 1 to 3 hour virtual workshop. Also we can also basically provide some coaching to customers in terms of trying to help them identify their key business processes and identify areas where they can actually basically adopt some of the AI technologies into their productive landscape. So if you're interested, basically you can just email our team frontrunner@sap.com. If not, you can also send us an email directly after this call, and we'll basically try to get in touch with you. And with that, I think I am now in the area of questions and answers, and I see that the poll has also been launched. So so I think I just want to hand this back to Talal.
Thank you so much, Young. Thank you for the great session. So just for the closing remarks, we have 6 minutes to the session. Quickly going over, I will quickly take a few questions until we run out of time. And the rest of your questions, don't worry, will be answered later on offline. So the first question is, how do you plan to develop further the Copilot as SAP Digital Assistant? Will the text analysis capability be used in the Copilot in the future?
Yeah, okay. I think that's a question that I may not be able to answer, but I've seen the question just now, so I probably may need to take that back and approach the right colleague for the right answers for this.
No problem. No problem. The next question is by the same colleague. So the colleague is asking, as far as we understand, the Copilot will be available in on-prem S4HANA and S4HANA Cloud. as well and will be supported for long term. Do we understand this correctly?
Yeah, again, I think this one is something I may need to approach the right colleague. So, and I sincerely apologize. I think CAI may not be a field that I'm really strong in. So let me work on that and let me get in touch with you regarding your questions here.
No problem, Young. Totally fine. The next question is by Benjamin. So that is there content on the demo store to demo conversational AI?
Yeah, so Benjamin, I think one of my colleagues have already replied to you in the chat. So I think you can just basically visit the link that she provided you. And I think that should be the link to demo for CAI. Okay, all right. I will take the next question now. So the question is, I would like to know the communication between S4HANA and BTP machine learning services in sales order creation and intercompany matching. Is IF tool needed? Example, DI, CPI, or is the API used directly? Yeah, I saw the question thing from Masiko Arai. Thanks for the question. Unfortunately, I'm not able to answer that. So I need to actually do a little bit of deep diving into the technical prerequisites for this. And let me try and get in touch with you. Yeah. No problem. All right, I will read the next question quickly. So does the app for unstructured data also work on-prem? Yeah, good question. So if I understood correctly from my colleague Jürgen Butzmann, that should be part of 2021. And basically, I got the information from the appendix section. So let me just navigate to the appendix, and I'll show you how you can actually find information over there. So we're providing also as part of the handouts the area over here where we include a list of all the individual scenarios. And for machine learning, and to your question, in the area of sales, you can just navigate here and find the category sales. And for unstructured extraction from PDF files, this would be it, create sales order from unstructured data. And as I understood, I think this should be in 2021. But again, this may come with some restrictions. So until we hit 2021, I think still subject to change. So yeah. All right, thank you, Young. Yep. The next question is, with Signavio in place for BPI, what is the going forward strategy with Celonis? If you can answer in 1 minute, let's say. If it's long, then it's okay, we can get back to it. Well, I'm not really sure about this, but however, can I encourage you to perhaps attend a session that's upcoming in 2 minutes? I think my colleague Thomas Grande is running that session, and he's going to talk about BPI, and perhaps this question could be posed to him. I think he's a lot more capable of being able to answer that. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Jong. So as an answer to this one, I'm marking it as answered live. Please attend the next session and do ask there, because that's the very relevant session for it. The last question that we have is, how is benchmark data harvested? By Philip. Benchmark data, is this related to BPI? Okay, if this is related to BPI, I think in terms of benchmarking, there are till today 5,000 customer responses, and all these customers have actually voluntarily submitted their data through the website as I described just now. And through this, we basically, I think the BPI team tried to analyze like which customers from which industry, and from there they basically try to understand, let's say, in the area of like sales orders, perhaps in the area in this area like certain industries and retail should have this amount. Maybe there's a certain customer that has the highest amount, and then there will be a long tail of other customers that have, let's say, varying amounts. Yeah. So sorry, it's quite hard for me to explain it, but in summary, I think there have been, I think, 5,000 responses, and from there, I think they basically tried to figure out industries and also like the number of business objects there. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, that's okay. All so right. We are out of time now. So all of your questions will be answered later on offline, and you will get the notification. So the organizers will take care of it. Once again, I would like to thank everyone on behalf of product management team, on behalf of the presenters, Jong and Anna and myself. Thank you so much, and see you in the next session. Take care. Goodbye.